Hey guys, welcome to this infocast where I am talking about mostly third person shooters. And not all of them are going to be new stuff. It's going to be akin mostly towards the SOCOM type of gameplay and maybe some other person shooters later on. As you can see up here, I have Caliber up here and Helldivers 2. I'm not sure if I want to add some other ones to talk about, but we'll see with the timing here. This is going to be a quick episode, and I just want to inform people. I'm sure a lot of people already know this, especially Sony fans, that here's this website and what they did with PS1 Online and a few other Discords. They've relaunched all the SOCOM games to play online. And you can see here, you can also play SOCOM Revolution, which is an insurgency mod available on Steam. And there's a server where you can play SOCOM again. It's like reimagined, I call it, or a successor to SOCOM. It's kind of, I don't know, people who like confrontation or any SOCOM will enjoy this. But I lean more towards it being a modern SOCOM and an updated confrontation. The gameplay isn't like 1, 2, and 3, which is why I say that, but it's very close. And so you should definitely check it out. It looks like when you click here, does it take you to... Okay, it takes you to the Discord, and that's where you can play it. And then this website shows you how to set up SOCOM 1, 2, and 3, and you can play those online. There's different servers based on which Discord community you're going to join and play. But definitely this is amazing. This is amazing stuff, and I featured it on the channel with gameplay, but I've never talked about it, and I know there's a lot of channels that have talked about it. But my personal favorite is SOCOM 3. I originally played SOCOM 1 when I was... Damn, I don't even know how old I was. I was a kid, maybe first entering my teen years, and I had the whole headset and everything. Actually, it wasn't mine. A cousin of mine brought it over, left it over, and that's what he usually used to do. He'd leave a game over to let me play it for the whole month, and then he'd come back and take it. So right away, I put on the headset, I learned everything, and I beat the single player. And I didn't have a network adapter at the time. Eventually, I got a network adapter within that month period, and then I connected online, and Frostfire was my first online map, my online experience. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. This is really fun. I'm actually shooting against real people. And if you don't know, SOCOM Battles was the name of the website, and then it eventually became GameBattles.com and catered towards Gears competition, Halo, and eventually became MLG, and basically started this whole esports scene that we see now with shooters. So some amazing history with SOCOM, and the fact that Sony has abandoned this stuff is just, I don't even know what to call it. I want to say pathetic, because they could easily bring it back, but they're more focused on other things. And also, Resistance is back, Killzone 2 is back, there's more games in the works. SOCOM 4 is, I think, the next project being worked on with the community to restore the online, and I know that one isn't really a popular one, but I would like to go back and play that, see how it played again. I did enjoy it, not as good as these titles, but I did also enjoy the co-op, and it did have a single player there that kind of goes on and off the rails, but it was still an enjoyable experience. Then let me move on to SOCOM 2. When I got that, I was a kid the first time. I rented it from Blockbuster, and I got 1 week to play it, and I never finished it at the time. I right away, I played some single player. I'm like, wow, this is kind of hard. Let me just jump into online now that I got the network adapter, and I was hooked. The whole week I just played online, and I really enjoyed it. It has the greatest maps. And after that week, I kind of moved on and did not play SOCOM again until I was old enough to purchase it by myself. And that's when I purchased SOCOM 3 in 2005 when it first launched. And I was hooked. That was the game that I grew up with, and I saw the vehicles. I saw how the online battles, it kind of downsized the big maps to small maps, which people had a huge issue with. And of course, you could glitch out of those and go wander around in the big maps and delay the games. And so I understand a lot of the SOCOM 2 players that hated SOCOM 3 and claimed that's when the downfall happened. To me, on a technical level, I thought it was amazing that, wow, this game that had no vehicles now has vehicles. It has a game mode dedicated to vehicles like Convoy, and it was just everything I wanted. And then the DLC came out, added co-op. It was a standalone game called Combined Assault that you see here. I didn't like the new theme they had when you first entered the online compared to the SOCOM 3 theme. That was amazing. It had sort of these mini achievements with sausages. You kind of first saw it here. Oh, before this was before the Xbox 360 came out and launched, or maybe it was around the same time. Sorry, yeah, it was November that year. So they kind of had their achievements. SOCOM Combined Assault had their little achievements where, and I did everything. I collected all the sausages. What I will say with SOCOM 3, it was like ahead of its time, in my opinion, with the community. It had the whole ranking system, the clan battle tournaments. It had the actual forums. You can go on forums, start new threads, talk to people. Eventually, they took that all out, but that was the first time I saw that all in a game. And to this day, no game has done that. No game. And I see kind of Destiny 2 adding the finder, which is on the app. I saw they added it to the game, but no game to date has this whole forum thread implemented into its game, has the clan battle system. Like, I think SOCOM 2 had it as well. So SOCOM games were just ahead of its time. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So my vision for SOCOM 4 was when I used to see, I think it was the hostage mode where you extract the hostages into a helicopter, or there was just a helicopter flying above. And I know SOCOM 2 had that on one of the maps. But the fact that I saw a helicopter flying in the sky, I'm like, wow. Imagine SOCOM 4. Imagine driving these helicopters. This game could be the next Battlefield. And at the time, I did play Battlefield 2, and I loved Battlefield 2. But it was a first-person shooter, and this was a third-person game. I was like, imagine this becomes like a commandeer any vehicle GTA type. And that's the vision I always saw with SOCOM 4. So when it got downplayed to confrontation and had all those glitches and broken mess that took forever to, when it finally got all fixed up, this was my number one game to play at the time, 2009 or 2010, I think, by the time it got fixed up. But that was my hardcore online game for that year, and I did really enjoy it. And I still think Confrontation is amazing. I'll go back and load it on PS3, join those private servers and play and just feel the nostalgia. So it didn't become this huge helicopter game or commandeering game, Battlefield, so third-person game, but it was still very fun and an enjoyable experience. And there is a way to play it on PC. It's the Safe Confrontation Discord. You can go on there and play, and I think, it is capped to 60 frames, and some people got it working on Steam Deck, so that's amazing. I haven't tried it yet on PC. I saw it run on Steam Deck, and then I come back like 2 days later trying to play it, and already it's removed. So I did play on PS3. I enjoyed it. I do want to jump back in these. I recently jumped into SOCOM 2 again, playing it again nowadays. I see where the magic is. I see why everyone really enjoyed the run-and-gun combat, the tactical gameplay. So I see the audience there. That's why there's a game called Phase Line Raider Assault, which I think is the closest thing to SOCOM 3, as well as being this open world Battlefield third-person game. So I hope that game comes out soon and gets all the success it deserves. So, and how could I forget to talk about the Fireteam Bravo games? I've never beaten these games, so I did go back and beat SOCOM 2 more recently in the years. Maybe it was 2018, 2019. I haven't played the PSP games. I want to go back and play those single-player games, finish them off. I haven't played the online games, so I do plan to play those, connect to those servers, and see how it was on the PSP. I did play Siphon Filter, one of the PSP titles, which was basically the SOCOM P gameplay put online, so I'm assuming it's the Fireteam Bravo gameplay. I'm assuming it's gonna play similar to that. So this is great. Many thanks for bringing these back, adding these mods, especially when the Task Force mod went down, and there's some controversy on that. The little gremlin tried to take down the Revolution mod because he's jealous of its success. So much more success to Revolution. I hope it blows up. I hope it explodes and just tears Task Force apart. Because if you're a piece of shit developer that's just going to keep banning people for playing a game because you're a psychopath, then you don't deserve any love for your game. All the love is deserved for SOCOM Revolution. And I'm not going to go deeper into that. What's this about? Oh, okay, cool. And I'm not sure who runs this. I was seeing it was having me join SOCOM John's Discord earlier when I clicked like here. So maybe that website's done from SOCOM John, I'm not sure, but I know the PS1 online community brought it back. Anyways, there's plenty of options. Like I mentioned, Phase Line Raider Assault, which I've featured before. And actually I could go into that, but I wanted to talk about Caliber. So this is a mix of the Gears gameplay. It does have PvE, it does have PvP. It's very well received. If you're into this, you can even go into first person. And it's very tactical. Like, I don't know if they changed it. It looks like it's mixed because it has a lot of battle pass and real sellable items, but I don't know if they changed it yet. You're tied to one specific role. Like each person that joins a team, there's a marksman. Like you're tied to one class. There's an engineer. There's an assault. So I think to fix this game, they need to allow people to queue up and play that exact class they want you to play, or be able to respawn and change it up while in game. Not queue up. Like you can queue up for all of them, but the fastest one might be marksman that you get because no one's queuing up as a marksman. So then you're going to have to wait longer for the queue up. They did make it better where you can queue up with all of them at once, because before it was only one queue per class. So they continuously update it. I don't know why more recently it's getting it's gone down to mixed. And I haven't played for a while, so I don't know how active it is anymore. Not fun. This is a huge bug in the game. They misspelled Palestine. Oh shit. Wow. Okay, trash game. Oh shit. Something's playing loud. Okay, waste of life. As a new player, we're put against level 90 plus opponents, and that might be the problem. Is the community has died out, and the people left playing are the hardcore. So if you're a new player, you're just gonna get wrecked. But with any game, to get better, you gotta play against the good players to get better. Game glitches. I didn't know there's game glitches. 270 plus games to unlock an operator as free to play. Oh wow, okay, that's so there's definitely seems like they're leaning towards a way to make money. And this guy says it's 1,152. Call of Duty campaign and multiplayer third person. I don't think there's really a campaign, but there is a nice co-op mode, which is challenging and fun to play. And it's 4 players. So very interesting comments. Yeah, so the game I was talking about was Phase Line Raider Assault. And this is, I just love this game. Like, I cannot wait. If you guys don't have this on your wish list, add it to your wish list. It is the third person Battlefield. But we'll find out where the vision's heading soon. But look at that. It just looks amazing. And then you got games like From Within coming out. Originally, this is how it looked. More of like a Ghost Recon type of title. But it's gone full SOCOM successor. And you've heard the podcast more recently. And you've heard the podcast about the controversy about Peak 53. which is also another game in the SOCOM realm. And their last update was Classic Edition, making the graphics toned down as an event to play. I think this still has a long way to go for getting the fixes done, and that might be done in the next Monarch update. We'll keep an eye. And there's a lot of controversy on that, but I'm not here to dive into that. There's another one on mobile. It was called Zero Ops. And I played this game on my phone. And apparently it's coming to PlayStation 5. So that is what these projects need to do. They need to go on PlayStation and have crossplay. And I think, there you go. Coming soon. And I did play this on mobile. The problem is it wasn't too active. But if this comes on console, oh, you can bet your ass that it's going to be active. But I shouldn't jump to that concluded statement. Let's see what happens. That it could be a broken game. Who knows? I didn't feel it was broken when I played it on mobile. And they're kind of doing a twist. They're bringing back classic maps with a twist, because they're not going to be able, most likely, to name them as the original SOCOM maps. So they're this is kind of the Crossroads revamped. So we'll see what's in store for this one, and I can't wait. If it comes out on console, that's great. Like, this is what it needs, but I think this will give us a hint. If Sony sees this and they're like, oh, you're just trying to make SOCOM and shuts it down, then we know Sony is working on something. Because why would they shut this down if that happens? I hope they don't. Best of luck to this dev. I haven't met him. I haven't talked to him. But that's great. Someone's going on consoles. And I think Phase Line Raider Assault, the mention was they could do it on 360. Or not 360, on Xbox. But we'll see what happens. This game has blown up. It's gotten controversy. The fans have won the controversy, and it is just an amazing co-op third-person game. It's not PvP, but I don't need to explain to you. I'm sure you know about this. Review-wise, oh, and it went back up to very positive. See, they did what the fans wanted. They gave them what they wanted. They didn't require a Sony account to play this, and it went back and got positive reviews. Now, I do like this game. I think it's amazing. What do we say about this? When I play a game, I like to have a single player and a multiplayer. I like that this is multiplayer, and I like that there's single player elements, which are reminiscent of like an extraction shooter, and it's great. I can't say anything bad about it, but what I can say, I feel like it needs, it doesn't need, but I feel like it should have a single player co-op experience that progresses the story or gives you more lore into the story. Other than just being kind of like an event game where you look at a map, you dive in, and as a community you gotta beat these maps. I kind of wish it had more of a single player campaign that you can play in co-op. And now I know this is very controversial, but it could easily have a multiplayer game, or at least let you set up private matches where people can kind of host their own games to kind of just have like a little arena to fight against and test out their guns. That would be pretty cool. So if it had that, I think it would be like more than amazing. Like, it's already amazing, but it could definitely be a lot better. But their aim is sort of that dive in, dive out, extract, and it's not typical of a single player game, but it's great. I mean, what else can I say about it? Other than I wish it had PvP. And all that stuff about, oh, PvP is toxic. Come on, man. That's just a lazy excuse because you don't want to create a PvP mode. Like, there's going to be toxic or whatever. The thing is, when I used to play Gears of War, and that's another shooter, which I wasn't going to talk about, but since it's here, when we played the original Gears of War, and I thought they added the original one on here, but it looks like it's not, but I'm glad to see this E-Day one going to be on here. when Gears 1 launched, in between rounds, you can talk shit to the other player. And it was for fun. It wasn't like, oh, you're being toxic. It was like, oh, no, we're going to kick your ass next round. We got you. You go next round, and then whoever kicks whose ass proves them wrong or proves them right. And then in between the round, they get to talk shit to each other again. There was a fun aspect to that. It doesn't always have to be, oh, people just want to be toxic. They want to hate everyone. They want to talk shit all the time and be racist and be homophobic. No, sometimes it's the competitive edge of talking smack that gets you into the game too. It's not all bad stuff like a lot of these journalist websites claim it to be. Oh, and there is Gears 5 on here. Okay, I didn't know that. And this is where it had choice, I remember, in the campaign. Here's a multiplayer game if you're a fan. So when I moved from SOCOM, I moved to Gears of War 1, and I played that 2006-ish, 7, all the way through till Confrontation was out. And I went to Gears 2, went to Gears 3, played Gears 4, Gears 5. So this is my other really top third-person shooter that I can recommend. Single player was a little bit different, was a little bit more open world and kind of sidelined the main heroes of the franchise to give Kate the driver's seat, which isn't as bad as what politically they're doing nowadays with newer games, since her relationship to the Queen was there. But the choice that they went with, I really hope they read the saves and don't ultimately go with whatever choice they wanted, because I don't want to spoil it, but I believe that other character should be the main character and continue down that line. So I'm glad to see E-Day focusing on what made Gears amazing, the brothership between these two, and the Alpha Squad and Bravo Squad and so on, so forth, the Kenny type of Carmine. You can never go wrong with Gears, and I hope I don't eat those words in the future when Gears 6 launches, or even when this launches. I hope this isn't bait into some other political nonsense. Just keep politics out of video games. Let us enjoy our video games. And I'll end on that note, because those are some of the third-person shooters I wanted to talk about. And there's a few older topics to talk about, and I'll bring those up. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for watching.